Hello, my dearest viewers. Welcome back to my channel. And today, as we begin to our new topic, before that, I just want to thank you all for taking some time out to heal your inner child. And on behalf of that little kid, I just want to say thank you. So let's start with our today's topic with more positivity and the healing. So today we will be discussing about how childhood emotional neglect shapes your adult relationships. And this time it would be a bit different because I will going to narrate a very small story of Layla. Layla grew up in a house that was quiet, not because the family was peaceful, but because it lacked the sound of laughter, warmth, and emotional connection. She never quite understood why her parents seemed so distant. They were there, but they weren't really there. They provided for her physically, but emotionally, there was always an empty space. Lila grew up in a home that didn't teach her how to express emotions, how to feel seen, or how to be loved in the way every child needs. As Layla grew, she realized something was missing. While other children laughed, played, and sought comfort in their parents' arms, Layla stayed silent. She learned to bury her feelings, to keep them hidden deep within. She watched as other families connected, hugged, and shared moments of warmth. But for her, those moments felt like dreams she could never reach. Her parents didn't know how to offer comfort, and so she learned to offer it to herself. But that didn't stop her from longing for connection, longing for someone to say, you know, I see you, I hear you, and you are loved and protected. As Laila entered her teenage years, she carried this burden with her. The walls she had built to protect herself became thicker. When her friends opened up, Laila smiled, but on the inside, she felt like an outsider. How could she connect with them when she had never learned to truly connect with herself? It wasn't until later, as an adult, that Leila realized she had been carrying emotional baggage that was never hers to carry. It was a weight of neglect, of emotional silence that she had been taught to ignore. Leila found herself in her first serious relationship. She was drawn to love, but she couldn't understand how to truly accept it. When her partner reached out, she pulled back. Her partner wanted to comfort her, to understand, but Lala didn't know how to let anyone in. The walls built in her childhood were now unbreakable. She felt herself becoming distant, even though deep down she longed to be closed. She wasn't that she didn't love her partner. It was that she didn't know how to love herself fully. And without that, how could she share that love with someone else? In adulthood, these unresolved feelings of neglect and fear shaped Layla's relationship. She would withdraw emotionally, unable to express what she was feeling. Her partner desperate to understand, couldn't break through the walls she had built so long ago. The more they tried to communicate, the more Layla withdrew. Layla felt a constant fear of being abandoned, a fear that she hadn't learned to recognize. In her mind, she was protecting herself from being hurt, but in reality, she was pushing away the very thing she wanted most, that is, love and true connection. It wasn't until Lala took a step back, reflecting on her life and relationship, that she began to understand the deep impact of her childhood emotional neglect. She realized that the silence she had grown up with wasn't normal. It had shaped the way she viewed love and intimacy. She began to learn that emotional neglect had taught her to disconnect, to hide, and to fear vulnerability. But understanding this was the first step towards healing. Lala began to heal. It wasn't easy and it didn't happen overnight. She had to unlearn years of emotional detachment and fear. She had to learn how to trust, first in herself and then in her relationships. Through therapy, self compassion, mindfulness, and the meditation, Lala began to break down the walls of emotional neglect. She learned how to open up to her partner, how to be vulnerable, and how to accept love. And slowly, the emotional distance between them began to fade. Lala's journey wasn't about fixing herself, it was about understanding herself. It was about accepting that the emotional neglect she experienced as a child didn't define her. She wasn't broken, she was healing. And in the process, she was learning how to build deep, meaningful connections, not only with the partner, but with herself. Healing takes time, but it is possible. And it starts with the decision to recognize the past, understand its impact, and choose to rewrite the story of your life. If you relate to Lala's story and you are ready to start your own healing journey, subscribe to our channel. Join us as we explore healing, growth, and deeper connection. And remember, you are not alone. Healing begins with the first step. Till then, take a very good care of your mental health, and I'll see you people soon. Bye, my dearest viewers.